How's it going, guys? Dustin at Daily Grind Fantasy, and in today's video, we're going to be building out a PrizePicks 5-flex slip using some of the best NFL Thursday Night Football plays on the board currently. We're going to fill it in with a couple MLB plays, but before we get into the video, if you guys are not subscribed to the channel already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button while you're at it, because it really does help us out. We would appreciate it. Now let's hop over to the optimizer and start building this slip. We'll get to the NFL. We got some correlation, but we're going to start it off right now with Cody Singa. Under 36.5 fantasy score. We see here, if DraftKings and Caesars both had a fantasy score market, this would be projected much lower. 3.3 average difference across these two other books. See, look, we take the even lines of all the player props or all the statistics that make up pitcher fantasy score here on PrizePicks. And if DraftKings and Caesars were to have those, the fantasy score market for pitchers, that's what they would be projected at. That's where we're getting this difference of 3.3. So it looks like PrizePicks is a little too aggressive in comparison to those two books. So we'll start off the slip with Senga under fantasy score. Let's go to MLB. We'll get Senga under 36.5 fantasy score. Boom, locked in. Up next, Carlos Correa and Luis Robert under 3.5 hits, runs, RBIs. We'll go ahead and get that locked in. Now, remember, we're taking into consideration both what their hits, runs, RBIs are set to on the sports books and the juice taken into account for them to go over or under those projections. And we are currently favoring the under of 3.5 hits, runs, RBIs for Luis Robert and Carlos Correa. Next, Logan Webb under 5 strikeouts in the MLB. So 3 MLB plays. We're going to have our 2 Thursday Night Football plays coming up next. Under 5 strikeouts. If we look at this, the sports books have his maybe some slight juice on the over 4.5, but almost his even line set to 4.5. So we're getting the 0.5 more aggressive prop here on PrizePicks. Needs 6 to beat you, so you get a little bit of push potential there. We'll go ahead and take Logan Webb under 5 strikeouts. Up next is my favorite part of the slip. We get to go and get some of these good Thursday Night Football combo props. We started off with the quarterbacks, Kirk Cousins and Jalen Hurts over. Okay, so that's actually been bumped. So give me 1 second. Let's see what else we got here in the slip. So this actually just got bumped to 516 or 519. So maybe not as good of a play, but we can go ahead and get this TJ Hawkinson under 13.5 fantasy score into the slip. Let's go ahead and remove this. We'll see if that adjusts in just 1 second. In the meantime, we're going to lock in TJ Hawkinson under 13.5 fantasy score. Boom. We need one more play. I might actually head on over to the Daily Grind Fantasy middling tool where we scan actually all the DFS apps across the DFS landscape for what their numbers are currently on their apps, right? So the actual optimizer is pulling all of the data across sportsbooks. Now we are looking DFS app to DFS app to see if we have any book that is clearly off in comparison to the rest of them. Not seeing too much at this very second as far as on PrizePicks. We'll go back to the optimizer, hit one more refresh, and see what we got. No. All right, so we're going to go ahead. We'll take TJ Hawkinson, and we're going to go with Jose Urena over 3.5 strikeouts. So some heavy juice across a couple of these sports books. Average odds about -140 for him to go over 3.5 strikeouts. We'll go ahead and add that in as our last leg with TJ Hawkinson. Oh, got to go to MLB. It is probably got a little thing over the top. Yep. Jose Urena over 3.5 strikeouts. That's going to round out the slip. It's Cody Singa under 36.5 hitter fantasy score. Sorry, pitcher fantasy score. Luis Robert and Carlos Correa under 3.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Logan Webb under 5 pitcher strikeouts. TJ Hawkinson in the Thursday Night Football game. It did end up only being 1 NFL prop, but you see how quick things get bumped. That's why you need to have the optimizer. That way you guys can go ahead and get these plays in before they bump. TJ Hawkinson under 13.5 fantasy score. And then Jose Urena over 3.5 strikeouts. That's going to be it for the slip. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you learned something, drop a like. If you first time coming across the channel, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one. Let's cash.